What's up, guys? West Coast Picks here, and today I thought I'd bring you through a more thorough view of my lock lab here. So this is entering in through the door here. It is a relatively small room, but everything has a place, and it's nice and tidy in here. This is one of two spare rooms in my house. It is the smallest spare room. The other one's used for mainly storage. So we are inside now. There's the closed door, the guitar on the wall that I just noodle around on when I am bored, which isn't very often anymore. But I do have a couple other electric guitars and stuff. Anyway, the main workbench here, it's the surface you're probably all familiar with. It's actually on a chest of drawers, or whatever you would call it, dresser, but it is on casters and can roll around, and I never move it around. It pretty much stays right there. But on it you can see my vise, a bunch of picks and plug followers and tension wrenches, tools and stuff in that glass. My vise, I already said that. My tripod and a computer monitor, mouse and keyboard. The tablet I use with the wireless keyboard and mouse is in there somewhere. You see the multi-lock challenge pin sitting there. Little white remote is actually for the ceiling fan and light. And the backdrop here, I have a pegboard, which has all of my useful stuff on it. So I got screwdrivers up there, my dimple pick set, key tags, more peg hooks, batteries, pliers, scissors, Allen keys, flashlights, tape, calipers, all that stuff. All that good stuff is up there. Also, I have my 3D printer on the edge of the desk now. So there's some pinning boards I've been working on, and there's some picks I've been working on. So pick roll that Pick Me 1977 gave me holds all my most usual tools that I use these days. A couple of lights. These are the lights I use for filming. There's one bright white and one warm white, and they kind of point in the same spot and mix together on the table to give me a pretty even light. The 3D printer itself, obviously. In these drawers are just a bunch of packaging materials, boxes, tape, things like that, bags that I use to put my locks in, pick making materials, pick handle materials, stuff like that. What else? The computer here, which is actually my Lock Lab computer only. I don't play games on this or render video or anything like that on this computer. This computer is pretty much just for the 3D printer and the CNC router. And I do watch YouTube videos on it sometimes. But mainly I do that on my main computer out in the living room that's hooked up to the big TV. The generator panel, which is right beside the fuse box in this room. It's a 14 kilowatt generator, runs on natural gas, and it'll fire up automatically if my power goes out and everything, which is pretty cool. That Home Depot bucket is a bunch of filament, 3D printing filament, that is open already, and it likes to stay dry, so there's some desiccant containers in there too, just to keep the air dry. It doesn't really hurt it that much, but it's just nice to do. The filament I'm using is actually sitting on a peg hook right now. The blue is hooked up. There's the CNC router, which I've been playing with lately and mastered pretty good. So these are the pinning trays I'm currently making with it, and looking pretty good. This is poplar, hardwood poplar, and also came with a laser engraver, laser cutter engraver, so I will be able to etch names and pictures and stuff on these pinning boards. But I have mastered the router portion. I'll have to play with the laser portion before I get more comfortable with that and start showing that off. But anyway, that is the CNC router. I've 3D printed a bunch of parts for it, little bit holders and clamps for the wood and stuff like that. But that's that. Over here on this first shelf, we have the big key cutter, which is a standard key cutter on the left and a warded key cutter on the right. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 there. We have a grinder, bench grinder. This is actually one of 2 bench grinders that I use. This one I don't use the grinder so much. I use it for brass stuff, and that's about it. So keys and plugs and stuff like that, but not for picks. What I mainly use in this one is the buffing wheel. And as you can see, this buffing wheel is kind of dirty now. I need a new one, so I'm going to have to buy a new buffing wheel soon. A little bucket of water for quenching the metals when I grind them. Down here on the top of these buckets, you can see my pinning kits. Those are all full of pins, all different types, multi-lock, Medeco, American pins, and standard lock pins, and drivers and stuff like that, all in there. The tubs themselves, the blue is all stock locks, need to be made into challenge locks. The white and green are picked. These are challenge locks that I've picked and ready to go back out to other people. So these trays here are other locks that I need to pick, or that I need to sort out into other things, or who are sitting there because they might never get picked, like that Avis from Potty 314 there. The what is it? The TSB 5000. The shitty bastard 5000. That thing is just incredible. Yeah, and then some parts trays, torch, my binder full of Locksport information, tap and die sets, more parts kits and tools and stuff down there, more parts kits. Then we go over to this other shelf, and let me turn this on, because it's cool when it's on. Anyway, this other shelf here is the little ghetto blaster in the corner there. If I'm listening to tunes while I'm doing stuff in here. My display locks, display mortises here. So we got everything from MT5, Primus, Medeco, Asa Twin. That's a Scorpion. Don't have a key for that. I wish I had a Scorpion key. It'd be pretty nice. And the Nabob. These are all in the orange bin here. They're all pre-cuts. So all different types of keys for pre-cuts. These are all SC4. These are also SC4. Like Yale, Sargent, and a bunch of different stuff like Americans and Masters, Medeco, multi-lock, more multi-lock, Asa Twin, all that kind of stuff. Key cutter number 2. This is just a little guy. It's one that I end up using all the time because he's quick and easy. And underneath all that, these are all locks here, and all of this plastic and wood, all a bunch of different locks. The 2 little white containers are actually, the top one is full of SC1 keys, bottom one's full of Weiser keys. They're all 5-pin, so I almost never use them. My little marquee there. More lock stuff down here. These are like kind of dollar store junky locks that I don't put on display. And that is a Sergeant Greenleaf safe combo pack. They're ready to be mounted and put together. I'm just waiting for the plate from Dem Brass and my blank board. So a bunch of blank keys, all different types. The ones on the top are the ones I use the most, top and the right hand side. So yeah, Bunch of good stuff there. On the bottom, you can see I got a bunch of pre-cuts and stuff like that I like to copy. They just, you know, some of them just have really good bidding. And if I don't feel like making my own bidding and I just want something with really cool bidding, I'll go through here and pick something. So, depth and space keys. Anyway, on to pegboards full of locks. So, all the American, multi-lock, ABUS, a lot of ABUS, other stuff. This one's all Master, some more American, Master, off-brand stuff, and older stuff. I do need to, I got more peg hooks and stuff like that. I do need to reorganize all this because there's a lot more room on these boards, and I do have more locks to put up in there. I just need to spend a couple hours and put everything where it should be. My display picks. So you can see Bobby Keys, Dairy Whip, Type Knee, Body 314, Trekmaster 30, Ryan McCreary, and then of course my pocket picks where it all started about a year and a half ago or a year ago. Whenever I finished version 3, I decided to frame up my own picks. That's where I got the idea of doing other people's picks. So yeah, this bin here is all electronic stuff, so I have an electronic hobby as well, and that's just where I keep a lot of my spare electronic parts and stuff. Same as in the closet here, a lot of tools and spare electronic stuff. Little shop vac because it gets messy with the key cutters, and especially with the CNC router. That gets really messy, wood chips everywhere, so pretty much after every time you use it, you got to vacuum up. So, a little shop vac for that. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it in the Lock Lab. There's a bunch of little stuff here and there. If anybody has any specific questions, you can go ahead and let me know. Do my best to answer it. But this is the Lock Lab as it stands. I got a couple other things planned for here, but they're nothing huge, and they're going to take time. So anyway, another quick look around at everything before I turn you off and go away. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So this is actually Halloween, so I hope you guys have a good Halloween. I'm going to go to bed. I work nights now, so I got to sleep all night and put a bowl of candy out on the porch, so hopefully the kids don't knock and wake me up. Anyway, guys, later.